If you walk through the garden, you better watch your back.
Hello again, this is Don Zico. Now I've got another battle report. This is game 3 of a tournament I went to a little while back, and I'll apologize now for how long it took me to put this up. I've been traveling and otherwise busy lately, so it's a little bit behind schedule. Anyway, yeah, I've got the report for this game, and if you hang through to the end, I've got a couple special announcements about just the future of this channel and these battle reports. So stick with it, and we'll get there. But in the meantime, this is game 3. This is against a Vampire Cans player, very nice guy, talented player. So I was really happy to draw him as a third round opponent. I figured it'd make for a cool game. And I think it did, so let's give you the rundown. So, for deployment, he has a crazy refused flank. So, what you're seeing there is my left, his right, and he's got 3 units of dogs on, like, the entire right half of the table, and nothing else. Then he's got a unit of about 40 ghouls, and coming across, he's got all of his points is what he's got. He's over here, he's got another unit of dogs, but mainly he's got 2 Terrorgeists kind of in a row, and he's got a big unit of Black Knights, and in those Black Knights, he's got his Vampire Lord with, Red Fury and Quick Blood and all that jazz, and then 2 other vampires. I don't know their exact powers, but basically he's got this giant unit of knights with 3 vampires in it that's just super killy. So against that, I've got basically my castle set up on the same side of the table he's set up on. So there's just really not a whole lot going on the whole, left for me, right for him side of the table. So anyway, in my line, I've got my Hydra. Then next to the Hydra, I've got my Warriors, and they're set up in a deep formation with my Metal Mage hiding in there. Then I've got some Shades deployed up. Their plan basically is just to kill a bunch of dogs and maybe put some crossbows into his Terrorgeists. Then I've got my Blackguard. They're deployed a little bit more narrowly than usual, with my Bunker and my level 4 behind that. I've got my Corsairs, with the Sea Serpent Standard and all that, with my Cauldron behind them. My crossbows next to them, and then coming across way on the flank, I've got my Shades and my Pegasus Rider. And basically the Shades are there because I don't want my Pegasus Rider to get screamed at by the Terrorgeist on turn 1 if I don't get turn 1. And my thought was, when I was deploying them, that I was going to set them close enough back that the Terrorgeist wouldn't be able to get in range of the Pegasus Rider. Although it turned out I screwed that up. He was able to get in range of the Pegasus Rider, but that's what you get for not being attentive when you're pre-measuring stuff out as you deploy. Now, before I go further, my basic game plan here is that the only things in his army that really matter at all are the Terrorgeists and that Knight unit with all his vampires in them. Because, dogs, there's not a unit in my army that dogs can charge and not lose to in close combat. And I'd be pretty confident throwing any of my line units or just a Hydra into his ghouls and killing them over a few rounds of combat. But Terrorgeist frighten me, and that Night Bus frightens me. And so my thought is, basically, I need to use some combination of magic and shooting to take down those Terrorgeists ASAP. And then I need to use Metal Magic and Killing Blow from the Cauldron to kill especially the vampires out of the Black Knights, but also the Black Knights in that unit. And and if I do that, that's his army right there. But it's going to be important to go first to get the most out of shooting, that sort of thing. And for the record, when I rolled up my spells, I did not get Mind Razor. I've got I'm not sure exactly, but I'm pretty sure I've got the Withering, Miasma, I think Pit of Shades, or maybe Enfeebling Foe, and I've got the Penumbral Pendulum. So no Mind Razor in there. Which means it's really going to come down to Killing Blow and other buffs for me to be able to fight that Night Bus in close combat. Now, unfortunately for me, he gets first turn, and with that, he's going to move up his he's going to move up his dogs all over the place as well as his ghouls, and more importantly, he's going to on his right move units of dogs right in front of my Corsairs and right in front of my Shades, and then both of his Terrorgeists are going to roll up right in front of my Shades. and one of them will be in range to scream at my Pegasus Rider. So he's playing real aggressively here. So in his magic, first he's going to cast Miasma on my Shade unit on my left, so their shooting's not going to be very effective next turn. He's going to summon a unit of zombies right in front of my Blackguard, and I guess that'll be it for magic. But in shooting, he goes to scream at my Pegasus Rider, who's going to get no save at all from it. But he only does 2 wounds to me, so he needed to roll like I think like a 6 to kill me, and he rolled a 5. So that was terrible. And it means that my Pegasus Rider is going to be alive to charge his Terrorgeist next turn, which is huge. So in my turn, I'm going to charge my wounded Pegasus Rider into his first Terrorgeist, thinking that between my Strength 6 attacks and crumbling, I'll probably be able to kill him and overrun through into the other one. Now, he'll scream at me and kill me, but even then, that's one less Terrorgeist than I had to worry about. And I think a 1-to-1 trade is something I can live with. I'm also going to charge his zombies with my Blackguard, thinking that that way I'll just kill them and then reform. They'll be out of my hair, and I'll still have the Blackguard more or less facing the way I need them to face. And I also charge his Dire Wolves with my Shades, and I move my Hydra pretty aggressively up on that flank because he just doesn't have anything on that flank that can kill a Hydra. That Hydra, it'll eat any of his dog units without breaking a sweat, and it'll kill ghouls real effectively as well. Now, I'm not sure what I did in Magic. It might not have been a whole lot, but that empty space the camera's focusing on used to be a unit of dogs. I just wiped them out with shooting or some such. And in close combat, my Pegasus that charged his Terrorgeist is going to kill it on the charge, and then overrun and hit the other Terrorgeist. But I mean, he's not going to be able to kill the other Terrorgeist because he's almost certainly going to scream at me and kill me. But still, that's all to the good. And then of course, my Blackguard are going to wipe out those zombies, and my Shades are going to wipe out those Dire Wolves. So that's the board at the end of turn 1. In Vampire's turn 2, he's got some charges. He's going to charge my Shades on the left with both his ghouls and his dogs. So they're pretty much done, but they'll probably kill a couple before they go, and they'll also and then my Hydra will come in and wreck face. His Black Knight bus is going to charge into my Blackguard with all of its vampire killingness, and he's also going to charge the flank of my of my crossbowman actually with some dogs. Now, his magic phase consists of him trying to throw as many buffs and debuffs as he can into the combat with the Blackguard against his Black Knights, and the result is he actually gets irresistible force, I think, on Van Hells. So those are always strikes first Knights, but he gets the small detonation, I believe, and he kills something like 4 of his Knights and 2 or 3 Blackguard in the process. So that's pretty much a win. Just anything to whittle down that unit is good. And then in shooting, as expected, he's going to finish off my Pegasus Rider with his Terrorgeist. So I guess that brings us to combat. I mean, as expected, he's going to kill my Shades, but the Shades are going to kill a few ghouls and a few Dire Wolves in the process. He's actually going to choose to overrun into my Hydra, I believe, with his ghouls. I'm not entirely sure why he did that, because it just means basically that the ghouls are going to die that much faster anyway. Then his vampires into my Blackguard. They kill a ton of dudes. I kill a couple Knights. I might put a wound on a vampire, but I kind of doubt it. But either way, there are 2 Blackguard left at the end of that combat. And then I was very irritated with my crossbowmen. They didn't do a single wound to his dogs in the flank, which isn't a huge thing, except it meant that the dogs are going to block my Corsairs from getting a flank charge on his Knight unit, which is what I really wanted to do, and which I think would have been very devastating. But because they couldn't kill a single freaking dog, I'm just stuck sitting there and having the Corsairs have to wait their turn to fight. Anyway, here's the board at the start of my turn 2. Let's see, what am I going to do? I've got my Shades. They're just going to move back to kind of get away from being charged by his Terrorgeist while still being able to shoot at it. And in the center, I'm just trying to kind of shuffle my units around. So my my spearmen charge his direwolf unit, hoping to get rid of it, to clear it out, and then they figure that they can reform at the end of combat to be ready to fight his vampires after they get done killing all my Black Guard, and the Corsairs are going to move over basically for the same reason. And beyond that, I just don't have a whole lot of movement going on. In Magic, I think what that picture indicates is that I withered his Terrorgeist, but only -1, so it doesn't much matter. And I think I shot at it and put like a wound on it, but nothing too big. But in combat, my crossbows are going to finish off those dogs that they failed to kill last round. My warriors are going to kill their dogs and reform to block his knights from getting through my lines. My Hydra is going to kill a ton of ghouls, but be stuck there. And yeah, I guess my Black Guard are going to get wiped out. I'm not sure why these pictures don't show them as being dead. So by the time we get to Vampires turn 3, I mean he's got what's left of his big Death Star unit, and he's got his Terrorgeist, but his ghouls, their days are numbered, and then he might have like one more dog unit alive on the flank, but he doesn't have a whole lot to work with. So he's thinking that everything rides on him being able to destroy my Corsairs outright and overrun into my bunkers. So in his Magic phase, I don't know exactly what all he casts, except that he definitely casts Van Hells again, but to move his Terrorgeist up so that it can scream into combat, and also to get always strikes first. But he does it with irresistible force, and the result is that he kills, if not the remainder of his knights, like all but one of them. So he's basically just got his vampires left, and he's the one killing the knights, not me. So anyway, he kills a couple Corsairs with a scream. And that brings us to combat, where he just wails on my Corsairs. Between the scream and the miscast and his attacks, there's one of them left after combat, and that one guy is not going to hold. So he will be able to overrun into my bunker. And also, I didn't have a specific picture of this, but my Hydra is going to finish off his ghouls between its regular attacks and crumbling in this round of combat. So in my Magic phase, I love it when I actually get to use the lore attribute, the Lore of Shadow, because it doesn't happen often, but when it does, it's a big deal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast a few spells. I'm not sure exactly which ones, but the important thing is first I'm going to swap places between my big mage and my little mage. So now my support mage is the one that's about to get destroyed by a vampire, rather than my big mage. And also, I guess I didn't make this clear in previous turns, but between combat and miscast and everything, he actually lost a vampire spell. So he has his Vampire Lord left, and one Hero Vampire, and 0 Black Knights after all of my Corsairs, from my Corsairs and miscast and whatnot. Anyway, and so after I swap places, and I just thought this was awesome because I never used this spell, I cast the Penumbral Pendulum on his Terrorgeist, which I don't use because it's just a terrible spell. But I cast it. It got enough range to hit the Terrorgeist. The Terrorgeist failed its initiative check. I wounded it. He failed his regeneration save, and then I rolled D3 wounds. That was 3 wounds on the Terrorgeist right there. That was great. And I think I'm not positive about this. I may have cast the Withering on the Terrorgeist as well. I'm not sure. But either way, after Magic, I'm going to shoot the Terrorgeist and kill it. So that means all he's got left at this point is, I think, like 1 unit of dogs and those 2 vampires. So that's very good for me. In combat, he is going to kill all those warriors and my mage, and what he does is, I don't have a good picture of this, but he reforms his vampires so that the Vampire Lord is facing towards my block of spearmen, and the Hero Vampire is facing towards my cauldron. Oh, and apparently I was mistaken. My Hydra finishes off the ghouls this turn rather than the turn before. I mean, it doesn't matter. The ghouls were going to die, and the Hydra probably was not going to be able to get involved in the rest of the game. So it doesn't really matter when it happens. Now on his turn, he's going to charge my warriors with his Vampire Lord and my cauldron with his other vampire. That's pretty much it. He's got a magic phase to try and buff them, but that's all. And I'm not really sure what he managed to cast in his magic phase, but it wasn't anything really game breaking or anything like that. And in combat, he's going to kill several warriors with his Vampire Lord, but I gave the warriors the killing blow from the Cauldron, and I swing at him. I want to say, like, I, I, I think I got either one killing blow. It might have been two, but it was probably one. He had a 4-up ward save. He rolled it. He didn't make it, so no more Vampire Lord. That, I guess, sets everyone crumbling. And then his other vampire fighting my Cauldron, I think, like, takes a wound while putting a couple wounds on the Cauldron. I mean, if we play it out, he might kill it, but whatever. At this point, he's got that hero vampire and I think 5 dogs on the board and nothing else. So that's the game. It's a pretty solid victory for Dark Elves. I had a good time. It was cool to actually use the Penumbral Pendulum, and I figure, for having lost the first game, I couldn't really complain how the tournament went after that. Anyway, so now it's on to those announcements I mentioned before. I am going to do 2 things with this Battle Reports channel. The first is I am going to drop my incredibly flimsy pseudonym and just identify myself as who I am, which is Zeke Webster. I am from North Carolina, and I ordinarily do most of my Warhammer playing around there. And that's why I'm doing the second part as well, which is I'm going to be integrating these reports into the YouTube channel for Bull City Wargaming. Now, Bull City Wargaming is mostly, but not entirely, these guys Ben Tweet and Tom. I am forgetting his last name and kind of feel like an ass. So sorry, Tom. I will look that up. But anyway, Ben and Tom, they're great guys. They ran the Brawler Bash tournament in Raleigh this year, which was just a fantastic tournament, very well run. Had a great turnout, all sorts of prize support. It was really a blast, and I'm looking forward to going there next year. But anyway, because I don't put these battle reports out super frequently, and they're trying to build a YouTube channel that has pretty steady output. So I'm going to move my YouTube reports over there. The actual content of the reports will not change in any significant way. I guess I'll just put my name on it instead of Don Zico. And you may have to deal with a couple ads, but trust me, it's worth it because what the Bull City Wargaming guys are doing is in general really cool. They put on a great tournament. They have a bi-weekly podcast that I would recommend you guys check out. And they're also hosting battle reports from Tom and Ben and from a couple other guys that are all really great guys to play Warhammer with and great players as well. So I think that'll be a positive change, and I hope you all enjoy it. So I guess that'll about do it. Thanks for listening, and I hope you will catch me whenever I put up a new battle report, which will be at the new place. All right, thanks again.